It literally like pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
Sabrina? No.
No, there's really good, well-known people in our league. I'm not discrediting them. Like, we have a lot of badasses in our league.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah to that. I'm all for that. But when people try to argue that she's not the face of our league.
Yeah. Is that your moment in the WNBA?
Yeah, which is crazy.
They were like,
and here we got another breakers here. JC Sheldon goes right after Sophie Cunningham.
Dude, I'm not even saying, I went from 200,000 on TikTok
before the fight,
and then I had like 350, 100,000 on Instagram. Over the night, over 1 million on both. Insane.
The WNBA has never seen a player like Sophie Cunningham, not because she's dropping 30 a night, but because she can steal the spotlight without even touching the ball. She's turning pregame tunnel walks into viral moments, turning a $500 league fine into free publicity, and turning casual fans into diehards. And every move she makes, on and off the court, feels like it's part of something bigger. This isn't just a season for Sophie. It's a brand, a movement, and maybe the blueprint for the league's next big star. But to see how she pulled this off, you have to go back to where it all started, with a player who refused to stay in the background. When Sophie Cunningham first came into the league, she wasn't the kind of player who made headlines. She was the hustler, the one diving on the floor for loose balls, boxing out players taller than her, and walking away with bruises nobody remembered after the game. Coaches loved her grit, but to most fans, she was just another role player doing the dirty work. That's what makes her transformation so wild. Now Sophie walks into an arena and you feel it before she even laces up. Her game looks sharper, her footwork tighter, her body leaner and stronger. The muscles are there, but so is the swagger. She's carrying herself like someone who belongs in the spotlight, not just as an athlete, but as a presence. And the best part, she's still got that edge. The hustle is still there, but now it's wrapped in a confidence that makes her impossible to ignore. It's no longer about just playing in the WNBA. Sophie looks like she's here to own it. It started as a simple tunnel walk and ended up breaking the internet. Sophie showed up to the United Center in a tight white tee that read, "Hot girls eat Arby's," a black miniskirt and knee-high boots. At first glance, it looked like a playful fashion choice, but here's the twist. It wasn't random. That shirt was part of a brand deal sparked by a TikTok she posted reviewing Arby's food. Within 24 hours, the photos from that tunnel walk were everywhere. Sports media, fan pages, even non-basketball accounts on small and large sizes of the shirt sold out almost instantly on Arby's website. It wasn't just a fashion win, it was a power move. Sophie proved you can hoop, market yourself, and cash checks all before the opening tip, and while most players wait for the league to promote them, Sophie's doing it her own way, one viral moment at a time. If the tunnel walk put Sophie on everyone's feed, TikTok is what's keeping her there. Her page isn't polished or scripted, it's pure chaos in the best way. One post might be her flexing in the gym, the next she's dancing in the locker room, then roasting refs with nothing more than a side-eye. It's goofy, glamorous, and gritty all at once, and that's exactly why it works. She's not trying to be perfect. She's letting people in on the unfiltered side of being a pro athlete. Fans get the sweat, the sass, the laughs, and the little behind-the-scenes moments that make you feel like you're part of the team. That mix of realness and personality is rare, and it's turning Sophie from just a player into a personality people actually care about. And soon, that authenticity was going to be put to the test in a way that even the WNBA couldn't ignore. For most players, a fine from the league is the kind of thing you keep quiet about. You pay it, you move on, and you definitely don't make it the center of attention. But Sophie Cunningham, she turned it into a headline. It all started with a post-game TikTok after a tough loss. No shouting, no cussing, no direct call-outs, just a few perfectly timed edits, a sarcastic tone, and enough shade to let everyone know exactly how she felt about the officiating. She never said a name, she didn't have to. Anyone who watched the game knew. The WNBA didn't love it. They hit her with a $500 fine, which in the world of pro sports isn't huge, but the message was clear: stay in line. But instead of deleting the post or issuing some generic "I respect the official's apology," Sophie doubled down. The video stayed up, the views piled in. 1.3 million people watched it in just a few days. And the comments full of fans backing her up, tagging the league, and praising her for saying what everyone else was thinking. People who didn't even follow the WNBA before were sharing the clip because it felt real. It was the perfect example of why Sophie stands out. She doesn't play scared. She'll risk a fine, risk some backlash if it means standing up for what she believes or giving fans an authentic moment. That $500, it might have been the cheapest marketing campaign of her career, because from that point on, Sophie wasn't just that fiery player on Indiana. She became a voice, someone willing to speak her mind even when the league would rather she didn't. And she wasn't just doing it online. She was doing it inside the locker room too. Not every leader's the top scorer, and Sophie Cunningham proves it every night. She's not always in the starting five, but you'd never know it from the way she runs the team's energy. In warm-ups, she's the loudest voice on the floor, clapping, calling out, getting in people's faces when they need it, and cracking jokes when the tension gets too high. On the bench, she's constantly in motion, pointing out mismatches before they happen, pulling a teammate aside mid-possession to whisper advice, being the first to jump up when someone hits a big shot, or when they need someone in their corner after a mistake. It's the kind of leadership you can't fake. Kelsey Mitchell listens when she talks, Caitlin Clark laughs with her between plays, and the younger players, they look to her for cues on how to carry themselves in the league.
What's playing with Caitlin been like for you?
Dude, she's just goofy.
Yeah.
Everyone expects her to be a certain way, and she is on the court, but like she's low-key a kid. Like she's 23 years old. Like she's like my little cousin.
What makes Sophie's leadership different is that it's equal parts savage and supportive. She'll call you out if you're slacking, but she'll also hype you up like you just hit the game winner in the finals. She keeps the locker room sharp, but she also keeps it fun. And while fans don't always see that side on TV, there was one game where Sophie's leadership and loyalty burst into the spotlight in a way nobody could miss. June 17th, Indiana versus Connecticut. Caitlin Clark is battling under the rim when suddenly a poke to the eye stops her in her tracks. The arena gasps. The whistle hasn't even blown yet, and before anyone can process what just happened, Sophie Cunningham is already in motion. She storms straight toward JC Sheldon, plants both hands, and shoves her to the ground. No hesitation, no second thoughts, pure instinct. The refs immediately hit her with a flagrant. She's ejected on the spot. But the scoreboard that night wasn't the only thing that changed. The entire mood of the team did too. That shove wasn't about anger, it was about sending a message. You don't touch our star. You don't mess with Indiana, and you definitely don't test Sophie Cunningham.
I don't start fights, I finish them. JC Sheldon slapped Caitlin in the face twice. Marina Mabry knocked her to the floor, and the refs just stood there, statue.
From the bench, Clark gave her a nod. The rest of the team rallied. And online, fans went wild, calling it one of the most ride or die moments of the season. Highlight reels fade, stat lines get forgotten, but moments like that, they live forever in a team's DNA. From that day forward, Indiana wasn't just playing to win games, they were playing for each other, and Sophie had drawn the line in permanent ink. Sophie Cunningham's swagger has grown so big it's now catching eyes outside the WNBA. Even Jeannie Buss, the co-owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, reached out with an offer for Sophie to join Women of Wrestling. Think about that for a second. A WNBA player getting invited to step into the ring because her presence is that undeniable. This isn't just a hot season or a streak of viral moments. Sophie is rewriting the rules of what it means to be a modern athlete. She's built like a machine, dresses like a model, talks like someone who owns every room she walks into, and somehow still finds time to hit clutch shots when it matters. From TikTok chaos to brand deals with Arby's, from getting fined to speaking her mind, Sophie is building her own lane. One that blends sports, entertainment, and culture in a way the league has never seen before. While other players wait for the WNBA to market them, Sophie is out here doing it herself and doing it better. She's not chasing the spotlight, she's wearing it. And whether it's on the court, in the tunnel, or maybe even in a wrestling ring, one thing's for sure. If you're not watching Sophie Cunningham right now, you're missing the best show in the league.